Hey everyone, my name is Adriana and I'm a yoga teacher and content creator for beYogi. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to guide your students through a Restful Savasana practice. Your first step is to create the right atmosphere. So dim the lights. If you're in a really quiet studio, I would recommend just leaving it silent. But if you're in a studio with a lot of outside sounds or other classes going on in other rooms, then definitely play some soft music. You might have music with mantras or just something light and melodic. And that'll keep them in the room and not wondering what all those outside sounds are. Your second step is to explain why. A lot of students come to yoga and they don't really understand the practice of Shavasana, why they go into it. So remind them, Shavasana is a practice that we do at the end of our practice. It's not just meditation, it's not just a yoga nap, but it helps your body absorb all of the benefits of your practice. So helps with muscle repair, good for your mind, good for your soul, whatever you want to say, word it in a way that serves you, but remind them why they're doing Shavasana in the first place. Your next step is to provide alignment cues. You may have beginners in your class, so it's always a good idea to lay out just the ground rules of Shavasana. Tell them to lay down on their back, spread their feet mat width apart or slightly wider, and allow the feet to flop open. Remind them to open their arms a little bit away from their body with their palms facing up and close their eyes. And you can tell them to make any other minor adjustments to make their bodies feel super comfortable. And then remind them to commit to stillness in the first place. Your next step is to provide alignment cues. You may have beginners in your class, so it's always a good idea to lay out just the ground rules of Shavasana. Tell them to lay down on their back, spread their feet mat width apart or slightly wider, and allow the feet to flop open. Remind them to open their arms a little bit away from their body with their palms facing up and close their eyes. And you can tell them to make any other minor adjustments to make their bodies feel super comfortable. And then remind them to commit to stillness. Your next step is to give relaxation or meditation cues. For some classes, if it fits the theme, I'll talk them through a guided meditation. Maybe something like visualizing a peaceful place or a chakra meditation, only if it serves the class. But otherwise I like to do a mini yoga nidra, telling them to relax one body part at a time and then the whole body together. I usually start with the bottoms of the feet and work my way up to the crown of the head. I like to especially place emphasis on the places where you know they'll be holding tension. So common places like hips, shoulders, jaw, neck. Speak in a really soothing tone and allow a little space between each cue, about 10 to 20 seconds if you have the time. And then afterwards, leave room for plenty of silence. During that silent time, you can walk around and give hands-on assists. There's all kinds of hands-on assists you can do for Shavasana, but one really simple assist is to give a little bit of neck traction, running your fingers along the back of their neck and pulling their head towards you. You can do a little forehead assist, maybe using essential oils as long as it's with their permission. Place your thumbs at their foreheads and then trace along the eyebrows down to the temples. You want to give really light traction as you do this, light pressure as you do this, because the temples can be sensitive. And they might not be used to being touched in the face if they're newer to yoga. So make sure to keep the pressure pretty light for that. Then your last and final step, possibly one of the most important, is to lead them out of the practice gently. So rather than just waking them right up with loud music or, okay guys, bye, I like to tell them to start to deepen their breath. And I'll give them at least time for 3 breaths to just feel back into their breath without movement. And then I tell them to wiggle fingers and toes, turn their head to the right and to the left, reawakening their spine. And then I have them take a full breath in and reach their arms up to the sky and just lengthen out like they just woke up from a nap. And then roll over into fetal position. There's actually a reason why we go from Shavasana to fetal position. Shavasana is corpse pose, it symbolizes death, and then fetal position is a pose of rebirth. So you can talk to that symbolism if you want to, or you can just have them lie there for a moment and then get up. It's also a really nice place to take a moment of gratitude. That way they're not rushing out of the pose because they know what's coming next. They know fetal position and then sit up if they've done yoga a few times. But if you have them roll into fetal position, take a moment of gratitude, and then come up to seated, it just feels a little bit slower, which is nice. And then you close your practice however you'd like. You can do Om or chanting or mantras or just a simple thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed these tips on leading your students through a more restful Shavasana. Your students will awaken feeling far more refreshed than they did when they walked into class after that blissful Shavasana. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was Adriana with beYogi. Namaste.